It is an honor to be a part of this, to work with the African Trade Network in helping people to move forward, to expand, to grow, and to increase their footprint on this globe. One of the challenges on the globe is that we are in an epidemic, not COVID, but stress. Stress was a problem way before COVID, and it has gotten worse. It is said that stress is handing out pink slips to America's workforce, and companies are not prepared for it. The workforce is not prepared to handle what their employees are dealing with. 1 in 4 employees say that they are at risk of burnout in the next 12 months. $190 billion in medical costs due to stress. Stress causes $1 trillion in lost work. 1 million people didn't go to work this morning because of stress. 80% of millennials are stressed in the workplace. 77% say they regularly experience physical symptoms caused by stress. 48% say stress has a negative impact on their personal and professional life. 78% cite money and work as the leading cause of stress. Work and money. The two places you got to work to get the money, but if work is causing you stress and then you're concerned about not having enough money, it is compounding. 95% of doctors' visits today are stress-related visits. Illnesses that have stress, and stress causes inflammation as the base of people needing to go to the doctor's office. As I said, it's been named the health epidemic of the 21st century by the World Health Organization, way before COVID changed the world as we know it. It has been slowly and steadily engulfing large sections of the population, so much so that even the medical infrastructure is falling short of helping those in need. Often those who are in desperate need of support to sustain both their life and living are left on their own. This affects not only the quality of life, but it also affects their health and everything that they touch, and their inability to successfully be a viable member of our society. Suicide is rising at an alarming rate in the United States of America. We hear about gun violence, but only 1 in 7 of the gun violence that you hear about, there are 7 suicides to every 1 homicide. 7 suicides to every 1 homicide. Stress is handing out pink slips, and the workforce, our medical community is stressed, and people are looking for solutions. And if going to work is where you spend the lion's share of your time, and if you are an entrepreneur, you too are dealing with your level of stress. And then in your attempt to recruit and retain employees, it is a challenge for you as well. The reflection, your employees, the reflection of what's happening in the workplace, that's a reflection on the mental well-being of you and your employees. And the effect is slowly seeping into every action that we do, whether it is what we do at work, also in our personal lives. So the goal is to take a look at, how do we manage this? What is the solution to this problem? Stress has an impact on the brain. It actually, research has shown that it is reshaping the brain. We've all heard the statistics about the number of people who will have Alzheimer's. That's why it is imperative that we take this very seriously. All of the push, and my comment is not yay or nay about a vaccine, but we are not talking about how do we eliminate stress. Should we have a vaccine? We can't have one, not for stress, not for fear, not for anxiety, not for depression. I did an interview with a psychiatrist, and he said, we're now admitting that a prescription cannot take care of what we're seeing today. Mindfulness. It is said that the mind is the pinnacle of God's creation, yet we do the least amount to strengthen it, to pay attention to what we're allowing into our conscious and our subconscious minds, and we have the least amount of attention being paid to what is there? What are the thoughts that we're thinking? How is that impacting me and my health? Employee wellness plans show that $3.27 return on investment for every $1 spent on and absentee cost falls by $2.73 once a mindfulness program is put in place. How do we as individuals work toward reducing our stress? Those are the kinds of things that we will talk about, give real tools to be able to use. The other thing that we don't pay very much attention to is, how are you breathing? How are your inhales and your exhales? How can breathing, a practice of paying attention to your breath and breathing exercises help to reduce the moments of anxiety? You know, when you play tennis or any other sport, some of you play basketball or have played football or tennis or baseball. Even if you're a musician, there are scales that you practice. When you're doing these drills, it's because you want to make sure that you have muscle memory, so that when it's time to hit a backhand, you don't have to go get your notes and decide, is it time to hit a backhand? Because you have muscle memory. When you have mindfulness practices in place, when you're conscientious about this tool called the breath, then you have tools that will kick in when it's time for you to slow your breathing. When you feel stress rising, how do you manage that with your breath? Doctors are saying medicine can't take care of it. The medical community is saying we are seeing a level of stress that the medical community is not prepared to handle. It is incumbent upon each of us individually and collectively to learn how to accept that we have no control over. What we do have control over is what we're thinking about, how we're thinking, and how we're using this breath to inhale and exhale for the best health that we can possibly have on this journey. I hope you will join me for this journey of peace and healing through mindfulness and a practice of being present, being where your feet are. Thank you so much.